It's interesting that Ramafool's first crossover was with an HO series, which is the HO Trackmaster crossover between Ramafool and Flying Scotsman Studios, who sadly no longer has a presence on YouTube, or maybe. This crossover was made when Ramafool's channel was only a year old, so you can expect it's not the best, and it's also inspired by a lot of Nickelodeon properties. This episode in particular is heavily inspired by the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Alright, what's the story? The story is that the Thomas the Trackmaster show, Thomas has received a time booth and he can use it to go to any Thomas series. Then why is it called a time booth? It should be called a dimensional porter. Anyways, he happens to go to the Flying Scotsman Studios H.O. Thomas Adventure series, and Thomas is mistaken for the H.O. Thomas, whilst the H.O. Thomas gets stuck in the Ramafool Thomas the Trackmaster show series. Now, don't get me wrong, this plot is really good. Well, at least the idea is. It came from the Jimmy Timmy Power Up, and as we all know, that's one of the greatest crossovers. But there's a huge problem with this crossover, that if it was going to work, then the Thomases should have switched models. And what I mean by that is that the H.O. Thomas should have became a Play-Real Trackmaster Thomas, and the Tommy Thomas, or Trackmaster Thomas, should have became a custom Bachman Thomas. As of this, the characters have very limited movement, especially the Bachman Thomas. Doesn't move at all in Ramafool segments, but surprisingly, the Trackmaster Thomas in the HO world is even worse, because he does absolutely nothing. There is no conflict whatsoever. The only conflict is that they're stuck, but even then everyone is too stupid to realize that these Thomases aren't the same thing. But despite that, I still think it's a little better than the Ben Jaguar crossover, because even though there's absolutely barely anything happening, at least Flying Scotsman looked like he knew what he was doing. Ben Jaguar was still a lot younger and looked like he had absolutely no idea on how to do this. There are the same technical problems as the Ben Jaguar crossover. For one, the Flying Scotsman segments are recorded via the camera, though the angling and lighting is a little better, so I can actually see what's going on. And just like the Ben Jaguar crossover, I can't really hate this because Ramafool was way younger than he is now. Oh, and Flying Scotsman, well, I don't really know what he's up to these days. His other channel seems to be doing quite well. Oh, but he was really young too. Oh, I think way younger than Ben Jaguar was when he made his. And I mean, there are some pros, like for the fact that it is kind of cool seeing a Bachman Thomas in a Trackmaster layout. No one's really done anything like that. It's mostly just been in Trackmasters and Bachman or other Trackmasters visiting. And it is still kind of cool seeing Ramafool's Thomas interact with the other characters. But like I said, there's no conflict or story that much, so there's nothing to balance it out and make me care about anything. Another pro I can give it is at least it acknowledges that this is a different Thomas series, not an island. That's a problem that a lot of the other Thomas crossovers had, but then again, those crossovers were still way better than this one. I'm still just so torn whether to place this in either good or bad, because it's neither. It's an experiment that should only stay as that, an experiment. Think of it, this is Ramafool's first crossover. They'd really expect that much greatness, and as for Flying Scotsman, like I said, the videos are unavailable now, so I can't really watch them. So, overall, I can't really hate it, but I can't really like it. It's neutral, in the best way you can describe neutral. For their first crossover, it's pretty alright. Not good, but still not bad. That's why it's still pretty alright. So, with my final verdict for this one, I'm gonna have to give it a modest 5 out of 10. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or maybe.